it really comes down to like, is this about me or you?
You should at least be understanding a little bit more about why she's going to these, why she's doing this.
I don't know where this girl is going. It doesn't make me feel confident that she's, providing this bridge to bring him along for whatever reason. And something else could be going on that we don't know about. But
if your path towards growth is away from your partner, that is reason for question.
Guys, welcome back. I'm with my trusted co-hosts, Jeremy Van Wert and Derek Devall. Jeremy, tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Hello, my name's Jeremy Van Wert. I'm the host of the Mindful Mutiny podcast. I tell stories, I do coaching, I do therapy, I do retreats to take you to that beautiful psychedelic place. And so if you're interested, go to jeremyvanwert.com.
And Derek?
Hello, I'm the host of the Culture podcast. I normally deal with cults and high control groups. Happy to be here.
I love having both of you join me. We have a fun one tonight. We're going to take up me time. That's something I say pretty often, me time, and what sets apart a healthy reset or a slow motion breakup. We have a couple questions that came in from the audience, and I think we should just jump right into here. The first one is from Justin in Miami. He says, hey, three-way after dark. My girlfriend has gotten deeply into fitness. Oh, I can relate. And solo traveling recently for her personal growth. I'm happy for her, but I feel like she's evolving into a completely different person who doesn't include me anymore. How do I make sure personal growth builds a bridge to my partner instead of making us drift apart? Who wants to grab that one first?
That's a tough one.
What a great question. This is a really interesting one because it sounds like she is in a space where she's doing a lot of personal work. And so my question is for Justin, what personal work are you doing? Have you spoken with her about, is there a goal? Is there a piece of her that she's trying to work through? Is there a place that she wants to go? Is that place resonant with where you want to go? Does her explaining where it is that she wants to go make you feel closer to her, make you feel excited? Or does it make you feel like she's just simply in some way separating from what resonates with you on where you're going? What is personal growth for you? And is this going to be a situation where she does so much of this? And I don't know, I imagine that she's going to retreats and everything like this, and you can really do a lot of growth at good retreats. Is she developing so quickly and so passionately that you feel left behind in a space because you are not interested? Are you interested in growing? Can you go to a retreat together with her? Or is she wanting to do this alone? It sounds like there's a little bit of like missing information that is the kind of information that spells whether or not this is going to spell a good future for the two of you or a good future for the two of you apart.
Yeah, I exactly what Jeremy said. Next question. I saw this in a few things, like personal growth. Obviously, we all know that's great. We all want to continue to grow and have, things that we're looking forward to, tasks we're getting to, goals we're getting to. But it is an interesting question because if your path towards growth is away from your partner, that is reason for question. I think there's certain things it's like, yeah, we can maybe do this together, like fitness. We could go to the gym together. But there are some people where it's like my fitness time is me time and I really lock into my plan and it's not really a social time. And so it's like, okay, so then I asked the question like, well, if fitness can't be it and some of these growth metrics can't be you time, what is? Because if all the things you're doing are without your partner all the time, it's probably not a good thing. and you need to find some common ground and some interest together, because that's just, for growing apart. The other thing I was actually really more intrigued about was the solo travel.
Uh-huh.
So I have a quick thought, but Jess, I'd love to hear your thoughts on both these. I love solo traveling. I really do.
Really?
It's an opportunity to let the wind blow and take you, and you're not really worrying about anyone else, what they want to do. But I did all of my solo traveling when I was single. And so I think it's like, well, maybe you can sneak away here and there, but every single trip you never want to go with your partner ever, that's probably not a good thing either. So I definitely think this is open for conversation. I'm curious about both these things.
Yeah, I have never solo traveled. I don't know what that looks like. I like to travel with a partner. That's what I like to do. And I like to work out with my partner too. So when I saw his question come in, I was like, I don't know where this girl is going. It doesn't make me feel confident that she's, providing this bridge to bring him along for whatever reason. And something else could be going on that we don't know about. But it makes me a little nervous for Justin. Because I know as a female, like, I want to travel with my partner. I want to work out with my partner. I want to do all things with my partner. That's how I'm built. Maybe this girl's built differently, but the solo travel, I can't even relate to, especially if you have a partner at home.
Yeah, I think if there are red flags in this, Justin, the red flags are things that you'll suss out very quickly. If you're asking direct questions and you're getting answers that are like smoke in the wind, things that you can't nail down, things that seem very unsure. If you ask, why are you going to this one? What is it that you're wanting to do? Where is it that is your ultimate goal in this? And what you're not getting is answers like, I've always felt like I had this thing in my childhood that I'm trying to get over, and it's this trauma that I've been really working on, and it has to do with, a thing with my mother, and I'm really working it out. And every single time I get a little bit closer, if you're not getting like more direct answers like that, and they just seem very fluffy and indirect and almost like you're not sure what she's doing in this, those are red flags. You should at least be understanding a little bit more about why she's going to these, why she's doing this, because I run retreats. Mm-hmm. And one of the parts of these retreats is that before you go, you set your intention, you set your goal, you know what you're there to do. Now, the medicine can sometimes take you in all sorts of other directions, but you walk in with something in your hands that is, this is how I want to grow. And she should be able to share that with you as a part of growing as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think about trust, like with the traveling and even the gym. I guess you could have like, oh, there's attractive people at the gym. I don't know if I want my partner at the gym solo. Maybe my partner's extremely attractive, so I'm feeling jealous and I want to be there. If there's all these other factors as to why you're not allowing them to do some things that they need to do or want to do for their like journey in life, it really comes down to like, is this about me or you?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if a partner is always traveling solo and you're like afraid they're going to cheat or something like that, that's a whole nother issue. Or if like they genuinely always want to have experiences, like life experiences alone, like, in my opinion, that's who you want to share the experiences with. But I'm okay with one-offs. If there's like a retreat or, you have something that that they're not going to enjoy. It's like, why would I drag you along to this? But I don't want to miss out. And so I don't know, it's like, are you worrying about what you need versus what your partner needs? Mm-hmm. And if your partner needs alone time at the gym, that's probably not a good thing that you're forcing yourself along. And now they're having a negative experience. I think it's communication. Just figure it out. See how you can talk through it and maybe come up with a system where you're like, sometimes we can go together and it's our time, and maybe it's only 20% of the time. and then the rest is my solo time. Leave me be to my routine, you know?
Mm-hmm. Have either of you traveled solo while in a relationship or within a marriage?
No.
I traveled solo 3 weeks ago. I enjoy it a great deal. For me, it's freeing time. I traveled to go and camp with my sister. We camp once a year together. And just the driving, I love the driving experience. And I can get on the phone with whoever I want to, or just listen to something that I want to. For me, it's wonderful reset time. Now, I wouldn't do more of those than I'm doing of travel with my wife. But I think that there's a place for individual travel, just like there's a place for individual personal self-development in a relationship. It's just there should be an openness in what's the goal here? What are we doing?
I think if you don't have enough of a relationship with your partner, and maybe it's an early relationship, so you're still talking through this, but if your partner doesn't realize you need silent solo time, that's something you got to talk through. Because I resonate with you, Jeremy. Like, I love a good quiet drive. I love, I don't want to say you have to be on when you're with your partner. You have to be on when you're with other people, but you definitely have to be attentive. You have to let's go stop over here. Let's have a conversation. And there are moments where it's like, I've been talking all week. I don't want to talk this weekend. I want to take a drive and go and just be in my thoughts and not have to worry about this stuff. And maybe that extends to a longer retreat for the weekend or whatever. I think it's about intention and about if you trust your partner or not. But you have a different perspective, Jess. I mean, you've stated you want to do all of these things with your partner.
I really do. I do. And I've never traveled solo. That never occurred to me. But I also really like having people around me. I don't do a lot of things alone. I do like long drives. I'm accustomed to that alone. But yeah, I'd rather have people around me. So if it was just a girls' trip, I could see that being I'm just with my girls. But if just to go somewhere alone without a partner that's not something I would ever choose.
Yeah.
So I think, but I mean, conversely, if I was with somebody who was into sports, I don't really understand sports. So I would feel like I'm wasting a ticket and probably going to waste your time if I come along to something that your friend who's really into whatever the sport is going to appreciate. You guys should go do that. And I should not do that because it's not going to be fun with me. I don't know the rules. It's not going to be fun with me.
Well, I think that's a good idea about reframing. So you can have that mindset about sports and go, okay, this is you.
Yeah.
But you could take that same mindset about the gym or travel and say, this is you. Totally. You know what I mean? Yeah. You could find a way to not make it hurt your feelings and make it personal because you just go oh, it's sports.
Yeah.
Honey, do your thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that you can find a way, but I think maybe Justin, who's posing the question, get with your partner, see, do we have issues? Is there stuff we got to work through? Do we got to go book a session with Jeremy and figure this shit out? Because I think if you want to constantly do every single thing with your partner and they're I just need these moments, maybe there's an attachment issue or something.
Yeah, no, you're right. It could be attachment because I'm accustomed to working out alone or working out with one of my girlfriends. But whenever I'm with a partner and that partner wants to join my workout, I'm all for it. Absolutely.
I'm just picturing they're I need to go get a tanning bed, and you're I'll go in there with you. It's no, this I got to do this solo. No, let's do it together. You get a massage. You're just laying on top of them. I can't get a massage either.
Have you guys ever been to a couples massage and had it be turned into completely uncomfortable?
Oh, yeah.
You're just supposed to be. Yes, I have definitely had that experience. You're just supposed to be enjoying the massage, and this guy. This was years ago, but just kept popping up. Are you okay? Are you okay now? I'm what are you doing? You're ruining the experience.
Yeah.
Your head's supposed to be down. You're not supposed to be looking up, asking questions.
1-star Google review.
Yeah. We have another question in from Sarah in Denver. She says, "Hey crew, my boyfriend said he needs 3 hours of me time," her quotations, "every night after work to decompress, which means we barely speak until bedtime. I want to respect his space, but I feel like he's building a wall to shut me out instead of resetting. Am I crazy for feeling neglected, or is this a slow motion breakup?" I immediately pictured video games when I saw like my boyfriend needs me time. I was thinking, oh, I mean, I know a lot of men come home and just want to decompress, play video games. Like, I'm online, babe, get out of here. Like, you're not part of whatever I'm playing. But I wonder what he's doing with me time if it's not video games. Like, what does that look like? Where is he? Do you guys live together? What does that look like? That'd be my first question.
I love the fact that
3 hours is pretty extreme.
Right?
Well, at the same time, what is it? Every night after work. Yeah. I'd say maybe
every night after work.
Yeah, maybe it's not extreme if it's like, hey, this is my once per week where I really take time. But 3 hours every night, it's like you're getting like a drive-by high from your girlfriend, and then it's bedtime. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 hours every night. We realize that dating is a test drive, right? Nothing's holding you there. I would imagine that everyone needs a little bit of decompression time coming home from work. 3 hours is, I'm really sending you the message that I don't want to spend time with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting a great feeling about this at all. 3 hours is quite extreme, even if it is gaming. Unless he's 14.
Yeah.
But the three, I think, Sarah, it might be time to start packing your own bags, because this just doesn't seem like a healthy thing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this one is it's in my opinion pretty cut and dry. Like I agree with you, Jeremy. Like if every single night is 3 hours and you're just getting precious moments together, highs and buys, you're not really connecting. I don't know if this person's younger physically, mentally, but they haven't learned that relationships do require connection, and they do require a commitment of time with one another. If you live together and just always wants to be by himself, is it you, or is this person like they really have a very, very strong need to be alone? There are some people that really need alone time, and it's like, I mean, it's possible you could work through it, but are you the type of person? Because there are people genuinely that, okay, we both spend alone time, and it's great. You found your person, but if you're like a person that's like, no, I need to be connected at the hip every night. Yes, this might be time to pack. Like it's not a compatibility issue, or it is a compatibility issue for sure.
How much of this should come up at the beginning of, when you're talking about dating someone? Like how much of this should be a conversation at the beginning with how much personal time I need, or solo travel?
I think this is foundational, because I'm going to go ahead and make an assumption here that Sarah might like to have a child or two at some point. And if we're talking about 3 hours after work, we're talking about complete non-participation in the parenting thing. And, that's a lot of non-participation. And if that's the way that it's going to be, every woman has a clock inside of her. Might be time to move forward here, because if he's needing this kind of decompression time like every single day, are we talking about somebody with an anxiety problem, an OCD issue, an issue with kind of a non-sociable sense of themselves? And then how is that going to show up in the next 5, 10, 15 years with a social calendar? Because I mean, you want to go out and do fun things, and this sounds like a person who's relatively reclusive. So I've got concerns about this one.
Yeah, I think too, as we talk more about it, like it could be something as simple as like they're younger, they just don't even know yet. they moved in with you recently. It's been, a little bit of time, and his go-to routine was to play games with the boys at night, or he likes to really decompress and watch a movie, and he knows your sci-fi movie or whatever, like, you're not going to watch, so he wants to do his own thing, and he just doesn't realize, like, you can't move in and then give no time. So maybe it could be a situation where you guys chat this through, and if he understands, like, oh, you need more. Okay, well, I can give you more. Like, I'll try to see if I can, bring it down to an hour or something, and then keep working on it. But I think it's give and take. 3 hours is a lot.
Yeah, it reminds me that I do think these are what Jeremy said. Like, this is foundational. This is the stuff that you should be talking about in dating before you're, together, and certainly before you're living together, because that's a big lifestyle choice. If one person likes more alone time and the other person really wants all their time together. Like,
and it's so wild too. Like, the previous partner of this guy, it could have been fine. Maybe that wasn't the thing that broke up their relationship, and he's just, that maybe the relationship with Sarah is his second relationship ever. And he's just like, I didn't know this was an issue. He's just learning. We're learning on the fly. We're trying to figure this out. But 3 hours, I don't know. I triple down. 3 hours is a lot of time every night.
Every night.
Wow.
We got one more question in. If I can open up the screen far enough. Vanessa in New York says, "What's up, guys? Love the show. My fiance claims his gaming nights are just his way of getting me time to clear his head." It's another gaming one.
I love gaming.
That was my emphasis. Probably not from Vanessa. But when he's done, he's emotionally detached and has zero energy for me. Is this independence? Is his independence fueling our connection, or is it quietly killing it? I think that maybe that's why I had gaming in my head. Maybe I just glanced at that one before as a before thought. But yeah, especially if it's gaming, if he's coming out of this emotionally detached, it makes me wonder, like, is he playing killing games? Was he in the war? Like, is this a PTSD reaction, and he's now emotionally detached from what's going on? That's my thought.
So now, I just want to preface this by saying this is not like a boomer take, all right? On get ready,
with
right?
all due respect.
On gaming, what I've seen in doing couples therapy is that gaming becomes such a profound addiction, mainly for guys, because it replaces in their life the kind of meaning, the kind of excitement that they would like to have in their lives. And then what the person does is they get into the gaming space, and it usually takes longer and longer and longer and longer of a period of time in their day to do. Sometimes they're playing all night long, and then they're a total wreck the next day. And what it's doing is it's messing with their dopamine receptors, and they're just getting dopamine, bang, 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 over and over. And after you've been in a fantasy world for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 8 hours at a time with other people or just with yourself, this world actually seems rather gray and boring, and your brain has been, it's like using it's like riding the white pony all night. Okay. And so when you've done that, and then you're not on that anymore, everything feels like a withdrawal. Your relationship feels like a withdrawal. So like a little bit of this goes a long way. I have seen couples game together. The gaming together can work because you're involved with it. And sometimes one part of the couple needs to like get up with like how to use the controller because it's got like 6 million buttons on it and everything like that. It's hard. But once you start gaming together, it can be a fun thing. And sometimes couples can do that. But when you have one gamer and one non-gamer, this is really not talked about as serious as it can be. It's like having an alcohol addiction. It's like having an addiction to a drug because it's driving your brain wild. And then all of a sudden, the rest of your life feels gray and boring. And so I would take this actually pretty seriously if it's getting to be like more and more time, more and more energy devoted to that, more and more preoccupation with what that other world is, because I mean, it's pure fantasy and it's really fun and it's really engaging. And so I would say that this is something that can really burn your brain out, and you have to make a decision. Do you think that this person can balance their life with you, or are they so into this that you just don't see an end in sight?
I have so many threads to pull on.
Yeah.
Jinx. Now you guys can't talk anymore the rest of the podcast. So as someone who has been a gamer in the past, I agree with you about balance 1,000%. Gaming for some guys is so many things. It's community. There's like a wire in us to hunt, to go to war, to battle. Or some gaming can be an amazing story. These are my books. I love to be engrossed in them. It's a passion. And there's a famous video that went around of a girlfriend that walked into her guy's bedroom mid-game and shut off his PlayStation. And he got in her face and was arguing, and he said, "This is all I have." He was heartbroken. There's a compatibility issue. There's also maybe a balance issue. But I feel like any other interest, there's like the stigma. And I agree that there is some science against, well, everything you said, Jeremy, I agree.
Sure.
But it's like this negative stigma wouldn't be on, I just need to read a book tonight. Or I just need to go on a hike. Or I need to play a sport. For some people, this is all I have. Like, I want to be around for you, hun. I'm not going to go out to the bar. I can't because of the kiddos. I can't go out and play my sports at 7 at night. It's just a routine, my schedule. So I have this. And you're taking this from me. It's all I have. And so I kind of push back a little bit, but it's like, maybe instead of 3 hours gaming, once a week, maybe it's 2 hours, and then post that 2 hours, can you stay in your room and decompress and kind of recalibrate, because you're going to come back into our world together. You're going to come back from the battle or whatever you're doing, because I don't want you in that state. You just came off a war zone. Like, I don't, playing Battlefield or Call of Duty. Like, so I don't know. I'm pretty mixed on it. I think like gaming gets a bad rap, but like anything, everything gets a bad rap without balance. Like, I'm going to go to the bar and have a drink. Why do you always go to the bar? Like, I literally just had a drink and I have camaraderie here. These are my mates. But it's every night and you're having tons of drinks and you get home drunk. There's the problem. So that's a lot. I just spit out a lot, but I don't know. What's your take, Jess?
No, I agree. I think if this was, the role reversal and she was going to hot yoga every night and gone for 2 hours, it would also be a problem. Because you're right. You can insert anything into that situation. But I think the important piece is finding that balance with your partner and then coming back in to a together space. I think that's something that we don't talk about enough as you're coming out of whatever it is, whether it's hot yoga or Mortal Kombat, but, coming back into a together space and making time for that. Because you just can't switch tasks real quick like that.
No. And I think the key thing in the question is, hey, when they're done, they're emotionally detached, zero energy. So it's like, if this guy, in my opinion, needs this a little bit, like, and you're like, just to test it, and this is like important for him, like, this is a big thing to talk through. So maybe you find a way to create that structure in between where you're not getting it. Because, I don't know, that seems to be the problem. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, agree.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear my name. Yeah. That really is an interesting thing, because I think it's very real that we live at a time when men are dealing with a great deal of just a lack of feeling a space of belonging. And there is community in this. And there is a difference between 2.5 hours of gaming and 8 hours of gaming. There's a difference in the impact of that on this consciousness, because you are traveling to a different consciousness with friends. And so is your partner being left out? Or is there a balance that you are specifically having a discipline to create where it's not disruptive to this consciousness?
Mm-hmm.
It's mindfulness in your actions. Like I just think like with this one, if your partner has such a negative viewpoint on games, like they view they're childish, and it's just like, oh, and then when you get back, like there are so many grown ass adults that are gamers, it's not even funny. Mm-hmm. And guess what? They're mayors, they're politicians, they're doctors, like they're people in society. It's like they exist and they can be like amazing at their work and be helpful, and then they come home and they're like, I need to just game for an hour. And it's like, I think there's a negative stigma around gaming. But yeah, if you legit going from work and you're like PlayStation on till like 1 a.m, and then your partner's just waiting for you, like, can we connect for a little bit? And you're just like, I'm detached. It's like, okay, there's a problem. Like a lot of the questions that I brought up today are very similar. Like there's a problem if you can't communicate through this, set some plans. You might be packing those bags.
Totally agree. And it was a great suggestion to go see Jeremy. That is something one could do. You can find all of his free stuff online, and he's available for hire for your couples therapy and retreats. Do you have couples go on the retreats very often? Like couples that come in together?
Couples do come in and do that. And there's a lot of benefit in doing it. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'd like to suggest that, Sarah, Justin, and Vanessa. Jeremy has another retreat coming up in September. That would be a great way to find some connection and be, with your partner for the whole. It's a weekend, right?
Yes, it is. The 25th, 26th, 27th.
We're gonna continue to promote that one. I love it. Well, I appreciate all the questions tonight, guys, that you guys, our audience sent in. That was great. I appreciate them. I appreciate both of you being here every week for all of the fun questions that come up. And if you have others that are, I don't know, maybe too spicy to say out loud in your groups, and you want a real therapist and podcasters to answer them for you, you should send them in next week. Until then, we'll see y'all next week.